I would like to introduce the next president of the United States, Beto.
Gracias por recibirnos aquí en su comunidad para su amenaza a esta administración de President Trump. En sus números, en su corazón, en la manera en que quiere tratar a la gente que vive aquí, independientemente de su género, de su raza, de su fe, de los números de generaciones que tienen aquí adentro de este país o si llegaron ayer. En este momento todos somos americanos primero que cada otra cosa. Vamos a hacer lo necesario para esta generación y el futuro de este país. El liderazgo que necesitamos, que merecemos, está aquí adentro de este puerto hoy. Gracias. Gracias. I feel at home here in San Diego. It is only a 10.5-hour drive from El Paso, which you know in Texas terms is right around the corner. In fact, when we were growing up, my dad, paddle work, would put us all in the car and drive us due west to San Diego for our vacation, and what was supposed to take 10.5 hours, I don't know if he did it in 8 or 9, but it was land speed record kind of driving. And his method was he would tuck up behind an 18-wheeler and draft behind an 18-wheeler and see how close he could get and freak the shit out of all of us that were in the car. If you take it in half, you wake up and there's an 18-wheeler in your face. But no accidents, knock on wood so far. Going back today to El Paso, this time we will not be driving. We're going to be flying via Alaska Air to get back home and see my kiddos. Ulysses, who's 12, Molly, who's 10, Henry, who's 8 years old. We've been on the road for the last 6 or 7 days. Get a chance to come back home and to see them and to address some crises we got in our house. Our baby turtle Gus went missing last night. And it does not look good. We followed the trail of turtle food out the living room, through the kitchen, the dog door, into the backyard. And we think Artemis, our 3-year-old dog, must have gotten into Gus and taken Gus out. And I was on the phone trying to console Molly, our 10-year-old, Gus's mom, last night. And she had on speakerphone with my wife Amy and said, Molly's gonna be okay. We're gonna find Gus. Gus is gonna show up alive, or we're gonna get another turtle. And Amy, is like, no, we're not gonna get another turtle. We're gonna Gus in his house. And that started Molly crying again. And I was like, sorry guys, I gotta go. Which makes the point about how hard this is, right? For families to step up and to serve. How hard it is, especially for Amy, who bears the brunt of the parenting responsibilities, everything that she's doing. But I know that here in San Diego, you are a stranger to service, and serve in far more profound capacities than we know in our household. Those of you who have deployed, or who have family members who have deployed or deployed right now, halfway around the world, putting their lives on the line for this country, our hats are off to you. This country, we are grateful to you. That is something that has distinguished this community, much the same way it has in El Paso, Texas, my hometown, home to Fort Bliss, the 1st Armored Division, 32,000 active duty service members, more than 70,000 veterans in our larger community. Thank you for your service. And what from you? is that those of you who have served, whether in uniform or you're the family member of someone who served in uniform, that service never stops. I was just having breakfast this morning with Howard and Jean Summers, whose son deployed to Iraq, fought for this country, came back with post-traumatic stress disorder, came back with questions that he could not answer about our involvement in that country, the war that we fought, the things that we asked him to do, came back unable to access the care that he needed, including the mental health care that could have saved his life. And as 20 veterans a day do every single day in this country, he took his life, could not take it anymore. But distinguishing their service beyond the sacrifice in their son is the fact that Howard and Jean Summers take every single opportunity to meet with a presidential candidate, or a member of Congress, or a member of the United States Senate, and it does not matter to them what party, Republican or Democrat, what position of public trust or power. They're going to make sure that they do everything that they can to help other families who are dealing with these tragedies or to prevent them from happening going forward. I've learned that from working with your members of Congress in the 6 years that I served on the House Veterans Affairs Committee. Taking the inspiration from the Summers family and expanding mental health care access for all veterans, including those who came back almost nothing, but we can find a common ground to save the lives of those who put their very lives on the line for this country. We have a lot in common in our two communities. Both border communities that understand we don't have to just tolerate one another or respect our differences, but we embrace them, and it makes us stronger. We are safer than the average American city deeper into the interior. Safe not despite the fact that we are cities of immigrants and asylum seekers and refugees from the world over. Safe because we are cities of immigrants and asylum seekers. As human beings and certainly as Americans under our Constitution, and that is what has made us safer. Not walls, not putting kids in cages, not sending 5,500 members of the United States military to a border at one of its safest moments in the history of the U.S. state border. Con respeto y dignidad, así podemos hacerlo. We do not need to fear one another. We do not need to hate one another. We don't need to buy in or be complicit in the racism coming from the highest positions of trust and power. In San Diego and El Paso, this is the best time for us to be where we are, not just to call out a president who described Mexican immigrants as rapists and criminals, though they commit crimes at a lower rate than those born in this country. Not only the moment to call him out when he calls asylum seekers an infestation or animals, which is what I would expect somebody in the Third Reich to do when they're describing a fellow human being, because an infestation is the way that you describe a cockroach, something that you want to kill to keep from coming in and harming your country or your family. That is not the way I would describe a 3-year-old boy who just showed up in a cornfield outside of Brownsville, Texas, solo, with a phone number written on his shoe, abandoned by the coyote who had brought him there in the first place. The mother who entrusted that child into the hands of that smuggler did what she had to do given the circumstances and the conditions in which she lives in Honduras or Guatemala or El Salvador, 3 of the deadliest places on the face of the planet today. The only way to save the life of our 8-year-old son, Henry, was to send him on a 2,000-mile journey. You can believe that's what Amy and I would do, and we want them to go to a place whose very success is premised on the basis that, unlike most other nations in world history, we're not defined by race or ethnicity. We're defined by an ideal that we are all created equal, equal opportunity to serve the greater good of this country and of the world. And when we turn our back on that, or those kids in cages, or those families who've been separated that still have not been reunited, not only must we live with the condemnation of our conscience and the future generations who will follow us, who will know full well what we did in this democracy. The government is the people, and the people are the government. But the very genius of our success will be lost to us for those generations going forward. So not only must we never again take another child from another parent, not only must we reunite all of those families who have already been separated, we must use this as an opportunity to rewrite this country's immigration laws in our own language. To reflect them now here in San Diego, in El Paso, in Storm Lake, Iowa, in every community that I've been to in the United States of America. Start by freeing every single one of those dreamers from any fear of deportation. Don't do it at the price of their parents, the original dreamers. Bring them out of the shadows as well. And millions more who pose no threat to this country, pay far more in than they ever take out, are raising their kids, are investing in our economic success. Allow them to contribute to their full potential. Comprehensive immigration reform, not written by Democrats, not written by Republicans, written by Americans in the best interest of this and every future generation. Are you